what are we all really trying to seek in this world? And I feel like the thing that we're all really trying to seek at the end of the day, even if we keep telling ourselves that this is not true, is validation from everyone. No one wants to be that, that lonely person in the corner that's, everyone looks at weird. I mean, maybe some people want to be that lonely guy in the corner, but when they're being that lonely guy in the corner, they want everyone to, view him like, oh yeah, he's a cool guy. Like they don't want to be viewed as like, oh yeah, he's that guy in the corner that's a weirdo. Nobody wants to be viewed like that. And it's a thing where like there's like such a stigma against like actually like being yourself and fitting in with society. Like for example, you'll see, a lot of people like drinking, smoking, partying, and I feel like the reason why a lot of people do that type of stuff is because when they're using the alcohol and stuff like that, they're talkative more, and that's how they feel like they belong. I feel like if they don't do any of that stuff, what society tells them that's good, they're considered weird. And as an outcast, when I started posting, content, I was viewed as a weirdo, and I still am to this day. And something that I noticed that society like rewards, athletic achievements, academic achievements, like high social status, being around other people, being posting. If you posting a picture of you like in a bar, you get like a ton of people like liking that stuff. You're like, yeah, let's turn up, let's do type of that stuff. But let's say for example, you post yourself, I don't know, let me try to think. Maybe like in the studio, like let's say the music studio, you're like grinding a new music, for example. People are gonna be like, we don't care. Why are you posting that? Like, move in silence. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not viewed like, I feel like improving yourself is not respected in society, and you get viewed as almost as a weirdo while doing that. When I last season I was wrestling, doing a sport in college, and I was doing all right in the sport, and I started noticing society was rewarding me. I started, as well. I started getting more of a social following. I had more followers. I had, a better image, everything like that, and I was getting rewarded like that. I had people constantly, talking to me, wanting to talk to me, watching me more. But when I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something that society doesn't necessarily. And at the time, I thought, oh yeah, society wouldn't have an opinion, or maybe might respect it a bit. I started posting content, but I was still doing my sport at the same time. But I was posting content at the same time, and I wasn't necessarily supporting the beginning. So I'm like, all right, that's not anything too bad. Maybe they didn't see it, but then I started seeing, some of my people that I knew started viewing my story and everything like that. And then I started noticing hate comments. But it wasn't just hate comments from anybody. It was like from the people that I used to consider like really close friends. I'm not even like exaggerating. Like I was getting hate comments. Like if I did something wrong in the video, like they were hating on it. And it's like I'm just weird. The why I noticed why it was weird to me was because the exact same people who were saying this was a year ago texting me. Oh yeah, you're doing so good in life. You're improving yourself. We're so happy to see because like it's like athletic achievements, academic achievements are viewed. I don't know why. Like all this type of stuff is rewarded in society. Being social, doing all this type of stuff. That's like not improving you, but like you know improving, I don't know, another person. Like for example, when you do something athletic, like you I don't know, do win a match for your team. Your team benefits. You don't really benefit too much. Let's say you score the winning point in basketball. That team wins. That coach wins. You don't necessarily win. When you like let's say for example, you produce a song and it gets like 2 million streams and you like, have a bunch of people now that are following your music account. You know, that you're improving yourself and you're building yourself, and but it's like not rewarded at all. You like be viewed as such a loser, and it's weird because in my content I'm like naturally myself. Like I'm just doing my normal like everyday normal stuff. Like I'm talking exactly like how I would, and it's viewed as such a negative thing. Like society, I feel like rewards. Like I just keep. Now I'm sounding like I'm repeating myself a bit. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but they reward like expensive stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? And high social following. But like let's say for example, your content, you're posting the exact same thing with 50 followers, but instead of 50 followers, you have 50K followers. Society will reward that, and it's almost like I'm just thinking that like now these people are like robots. I don't believe that they're real. That might sound completely crazy, but I feel like they're all programmed to like think like that. And why I'm thinking like that, I'm not saying I'm not some big conspiracy theorist. It's because everyone scrolls nowadays, and I feel like society, like the algorithm and everything, controls a lot of people, and a lot of people are like brainwashed to think a certain way. And when they see somebody trying to do something that's not society's norm, because society tells you, oh yeah, go to college, get a job. You know, you if you go to let's say community college for example, you're when you go to a community college, you're paying not a lot of money. You're getting a free like an education that's cheap, that's gonna set you up for life. Not maybe not set you up for life, but not make you in hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. Because you could go to like let's say for example, you go to Harvard or you can go to a community college. In the first year, you're basically gonna learn the exact same thing. Or maybe that's not true. I didn't go to Harvard, but like you're gonna take your same general like classes that you would take. Like you're gonna take like your like a class that you have to take, like your English class, your math class, and there's not really that big of a difference. It's the same thing, you know. Of course, when like for example, you want to go to like a good doctoring school, there's different programs like different colleges that reward that. But in the beginning, you could just go to community college, but society like will make you feel ashamed. Like you'll be ashamed to tell people that, oh yeah, you go to a community college because it's viewed as a negative thing. I don't know, understand why. I actually went to one. I mean, I went to a farther one. I mostly did it for my sport, but as well, that's the thing as well. I didn't even get to. There's a whole nother topic there where kids that don't go D1 are looked down upon in the sport, and that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Where if you don't go D1, let's say for example you go D2, or let's say even because D3 gets more like people laughing at them, you go D3. That's crazy. The fact that you're going D3 and doing a sport in college is crazy. I don't think you understand how hard it is. People are like, oh yeah, no one even shows up to the D3 games. It's only the parents and a couple, people. And who cares about the D3 games? Who cares about you? You're not doing anything with your life. And I was never a D3 athlete. Maybe I might be in the future. I might transfer to a D3 school. I'm still in my eligibility, so maybe. But my sport's harder. So like, if you go D3 in wrestling, it's actually viewed as a good thing. But like for example, you go D3 football or D3 lacrosse. Like if you go D3 lacrosse, like people are gonna treat you worse. And it's weird because like, why would you treat another human worse? Like compare like if you went to like a let's say for example like a Michigan State or whatever university, like a decent sized university, he would be viewed as more than if he went to that D3 college. Because this society, whatever it is, it's so stupid. And it's like society like makes it like so like, oh yeah, you have to go D1, you have to do this athletic achievements, you gotta do this academic achievements, you gotta do all of this. But who are you to tell me what I can and what I can't do? Like, and that's the thing. Like, you gotta tell yourself, and that's something that I keep telling myself every single day. Where you gotta tell yourself that you cannot let somebody control your life. That is basically what it is. If you're not doing something because you're afraid of what other people will think about you, they control you. So you basically gotta tell yourself that I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone and do something that's gonna suck. When I started posting, I posted 9 months ago. You wanna know how much followers I got? Not a lot, I'll tell you that. I got like maybe 366 followers on TikTok and around 137 subscribers on YouTube. And I've been posting at least 3 times a day, every day. Now the content's improved a lot more, and now the views are a lot higher. Like, but I learned that through trial and error. Where now my views are like 3K, 5K, sometimes really high. They're averaging at least 1K now, which is really good. But they're all like performances where I had to work really hard. But I'm happy to see that they're doing well now. But I went through that trial and error, and I had 10 people still laughing at me, be like, what is this guy trying to do? He's trying to be internet famous. Oh my god, why doesn't he just stick to his thing? Because I just destroyed my image. But I don't care. Step outside your comfort zone. Never let anyone tell you what's normal. Because right now I'm viewed as a weirdo, but I view them as a weirdo too. So we kind of view each other as the weirdos. You know what I'm saying? So never ever be afraid ever in your life to ever be yourself. Being like putting on a personality like a mask on is the most corniest thing you can ever do. Being yourself is not corny. Being someone else to impress somebody else is the weirdest thing. I don't think you understand how weird that is. So, you know, just enjoy life and maybe just delete social media. If I wasn't posting content, I would delete social. Actually deactivated. I actually deactivated my Instagram account, my main account, like 4 months ago, and it's been amazing. So, delete social media, meditate, don't care about what other people say, and just keep enjoying everything.